Hello and welcome to my tiny narrowboat studio. My name's Ben, I'm a songwriter, I produce my own songs. I'm also part of a vlog called Ben and Emily, upon which we explore the canals, and more recently we're going away in a camper van to explore further afield. I soundtrack these vlogs, but I also write songs just as part of being a musician. Psychedelic folk songs are what I'm into at the minute. And today I wanted to show you a song that I recently wrote on the piano. I know this isn't a real piano, but I've got a piano sound on it, and in this little boat that's as close as I'm going to get. So I'd like to show you this song that I've written. It's called Oh the World, and it's a special one. I feel like it's got some power to it. I've also started recording this song. I'll show you some of the instrumentation that I've put on it, and then we'll have a full playthrough of the recorded track that I've made. But first, I'd like to show you the initial idea that I had on the piano. I don't write a lot of songs on the piano because I don't have one. I don't write a lot of songs on the keyboard because I only recently got one that's decent enough to feel like you want to actually sit and play on it and feel inspired enough to write something. There's been short periods in the past where I've had a piano in the flat that I rented, and I've written some nice songs on those before. If you go way back to when I did a band called Bingo Harry, one of the tracks off my Bingo Harry album is on the piano, so check that out if you haven't already. It's a very wet day today, so you can hear the rain, so allow that for now to add to the atmosphere of what I'm doing. So, no more chatter, let me play you the song. Okay. Number 11, number of light. I used to see you all of the time. Delicate feather floating towards every endeavor I set upon. Oh the world, oh the world, oh the world, it needs you now, even if it's only for the inspiration, for us to see who we could truly be if we open doors of perception. And that is the point where the flute kicks in, and the drums and the bass, and the song gains some momentum. So I'm going to record those parts, show you a sequence of me doing that, and then we'll play through the whole song and enjoy it. I'm also going to talk about the lyrics after we do the playthrough, because sometimes that can go on for a while, and although it's me speaking from my heart, truly, I know it's quite a long thing to watch, so I'm going to do it afterwards, okay? Okay, let's record some flute. And just so you guys know, I'm going to wait for a little bit for the rain to stop. I think if I've got 10 tracks of rain over this, it will just sound very wet. Who we could, delicate feather floating towards. So it has taken a long time, obviously, because there's quite a few tracks. It took a lot of takes, a lot of mistakes, but I've sifted through all that to give you more of a smooth experience of my recording process. So let's have a full playthrough of the song and you can hear where I've got it to at the minute. I would be hoping to release this on an album because I really like this one. The mix may change before then, but for now, here is what it is.
see who we could truly be if we open doors of perception. Intentions may go to waste when all our visions are based on hate. Manifestation of what is to be. No expectations, only good deeds. Oh, the world, oh, the world, oh, the world, it needs you now. Even if you only are the inspiration for us to see who we could truly be if we open doors of perception.
Well, there you have it. There is my song, Oh the World. Now, of course, I didn't show you me playing the drums, and that is because I didn't play the drums. The drums are programmed in. They're actually made from sampled live drums, and then it's put into a program that I map out on Ableton. They do sound really good. What I want to do now is talk about the lyrics and what they mean, because they do mean something, of course. They're quite important in this one. So the first line is, number 11, number of light, I used to see you all of the time. And what this relates to is the idea of synchronicity. I don't know if you know about synchronicity. If you do, it's weird, isn't it? And for me, although the number 11 isn't something that I have necessarily seen loads and loads, what the number 11 represents is like the iconic number for synchronicity. It's, for numerologists, a master number, which just means that it's a really important number. It's very significant. It's a number of awakening consciousness. It's a number of light. So when I sing what I sing, I'm saying that maybe now or at some points I don't feel as many synchronicities as I have before, because what people say is when you start getting lots of synchronicities, it means that everything is lining up and everything's happening. But I also think that what it may mean is it's the universe making you aware that it's there, and it's making you aware that almost it's conscious. So that happened to me a lot when I was like 18, 19, when I was starting to think more about spiritual things and starting to expand my view of the world. Actually, for me, the number 13 was a really big part of that. So the number 13 is my favourite number, but it doesn't rhyme in this. And also, it wouldn't really make sense for a lot of people, and I'm trying to get an idea across, essentially. The number 13 is in fact a very lucky number, if you look into it. I won't talk about it loads now, but why it's seen as unlucky I don't know how that's happened, because it is actually a very important number in numerology as well. So the second part of the verse, delicate feather floating towards every endeavour I set upon. And what this means is the idea of a feather representing angels, because that is what they represent for a lot of people. And people who see feathers at certain significant moments, they'll be thinking a certain thought, they'll be feeling a certain way, whether it's really good or really bad, and sometimes a feather will just float towards and send that message that, you know, you're not on your own, there's more happening than you can see, there's a bigger picture, let's roll with that. So that's what that's about. And actually, my friend Adam, he sees a lot of feathers, and when he sees them, he's always like, I've seen one. And yeah, you might just see a feather lying around and be like, well, it doesn't mean it's an angel, it's just dropped off a chicken. But when you know, and you have that feeling. And that's what this is about, and that's why science struggles with this, because science doesn't necessarily work with feelings. But it's not, I'm not bashing science or anything, it's just where we're at the minute. The chorus, oh the world, it needs you now, even if it's only for the inspiration. And this is just kind of like a call out to all of us, just to be like, come on, let's get out into the world, be our true selves, not be afraid to be us, not be too down about things, and just remember that when we push in a good way, it creates a reaction. I don't know how else better to explain it than that. It's sort of like us rising up and being the best we can be, even in hard situations, you know, to have the courage to step up to be ourselves. And the second part of the chorus is, so we can see what we could truly be if we open doors of perception. And this is sort of referring to the glimpse that we could have of the world if we all rose up into being ourselves, our kindest, most courageous selves, and we pushed for something better in the world. We'd be opening our doors of perception. That essentially means expanding our consciousness out of the narrow box of me, getting everything sorted for myself, and really thinking, how can I help? So the second verse is, all good intentions may go to waste if all our visions are based on hate. So that's pretty self-explanatory, I think. Even if we think we're doing the right thing for ourselves and those around us, if we're still being essentially hateful people and hating on other people in the world, even if we see ourselves as good, we can give out a lot of hate. I see it all the time, and it makes me really sad. Even, you know, if it's a good cause, and yeah, there's justified anger, righteous anger, definitely, but hatred does essentially brew more hatred, and it doesn't solve as many problems as it creates. So that's what that lyric is about. Just, you're wasting your energy by being hateful. And the next part is, manifestation, oh what is to be, no expectations, only good deeds. It basically refers to the idea that we sometimes create the things in our lives, and in a direct and logical way we do. We create the opportunities that we get by how hard we work, by who we email and phone up, and what we learn, whether it's an instrument or a trade or a skill. That's how we create our future, isn't it? But in a more spiritual way, some people believe that how we are within ourselves creates the world that we experience, and I think still logically that's true. We interpret the world either through a loving, peaceful way or an annoyed, agitated way, and that is how the world's going to be for us. So even if you see manifestation like that, it's kind of real, isn't it? At the same time, it's good not to have too many expectations of what is going to happen, because you're kind of putting the future in a box, and you're narrowing the field of vision that is possible for yourself. Whereas you have no expectations, anything could happen, and you won't turn away as many unexpected opportunities, which might actually be the path that is better for you. So that's kind of all those lyrics mean. Why have I included that in this song? Because I think that changing the world starts from us, and if we can alter how each of us goes out into the world on an individual scale, it will have a knock-on effect, a domino effect, and it can only be a positive thing. So for me, personal change inside is just as important as external change outside of the world. And with all of the things that are happening in the world all the time that make us feel powerless, at least we can choose how we go out into the world and how we decide to feel and be from day to day. This song was actually inspired by me just feeling quite fed up, looking at some of the conflict that's been going on and just thinking, what is this about? Why are we so violent to each other? How can these people be so violent to another group of people? Like, when are we going to get past this? So as I do when I feel like that, for me, like writing a song and expressing my feelings through song helps to channel that, and it helps me to get it off my chest, I guess, and it makes me feel like I'm at least putting something out there by saying, come on, like, why are we doing this? Why are we letting this happen? Although I feel powerless, maybe you feel powerless, at least we can start within ourselves and move outwards from there, and maybe that'll help. I don't know, but we've got to try, right? Wow, well, thank you so much if you're still watching. Thank you so much for watching. I've enjoyed playing you my song and I've enjoyed telling you about it. Thank you so much. Really appreciate everybody watching. Love to you all. And I will see you in the future. Goodbye.